Thank you. All right, action items 4.2, recommend approval of the corrected resolution adopting the college 23-24 operating budget, sponsor services, and full-time position. Make a motion. Alejandro. Second.
Second.
Okay, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Information items. What we all been waiting for.
Yay. First of all, thank you very much. I have included in the board packet a summary of the items that make up the president's report. I wanted to highlight just a few of those items for you. The first is an enrollment update for fall 2023 compared to last year this time. That's 2 weeks prior to the start of the semester. We are down 75 students, which is a 2.32% decrease, and up 5.41 FTEs, which is a little under half of a percentage from where we were a year ago. This decline is basically because of a deregistration process. Typically, those students, once they are deregistered and receive word that they've been deregistered, they usually re-register and make payment arrangements. There have been several events sponsored by our Marcom team working with academic advising, several events to encourage students to reach out to the admissions office, to the financial aid office, and the registrar's office to begin the process or to complete the process of registering for classes. The event itself, there was an event that occurred yesterday, allowing students to really get motivated to register. And as far as the summer enrollment, the final comparison of the summer indicates that we were up 58 students. So that's a very good sign for us all. Up 8.07% in students participating, and up 14.89% in FTE. I have spent a great deal of time since I arrived on July 1st, meeting and greeting and being met and greeted by a lot of important people in Broome County, as well as BCC or SUNY Broome. And that list of all the people that I have met is included in the report itself. I also spent the week of July 24th making my way across campus in what's known as a meet and treat, being accompanied by several of the SUNY Broome vice presidents, armed with nice, tasty Wegmans cupcakes, and going door to door, introducing myself to all of the faculty, staff, and administrators who are here over the summer. We received a visit by the Senior Vice Chancellor from SUNY, Senior Vice Chancellor for Student Success, Donna Linderman. She came and she met with the Executive Council as well as leaders from our student success areas to talk about student success. So members of our Academic Affairs Division and our Student Affairs Divisions. And she was essentially very impressed by the work that we are doing in support of students, in special populations, in support of our EOF students, in support of our students who really do have student success as kind of their goal and their mission in those areas. I want to thank the members of the Executive Council, as well as members of EOP, our Broome Community College Foundation, and the areas that are really important for students to find student success, because Ms. Linderman reported to me that she really enjoyed her visit to the college and was very proud of the work that we're doing here at SUNY Broome. Despite the rain that canceled my balloon ride, I was able to participate in Broome County Speedy Fest and received the second place in the celebrity category in the Backyard Chef Championship with a traditional lamb speedy. So I want to
Did you even know what a speedy was?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. An award-winning speedy chef like myself. I would like to thank Michael Stevens for his assistance in preparing me for that great challenge. There is, I want to make you aware of a presidential transition committee that's been formed. This group will guide me through the first 100 days of listening and learning. For the first meeting of the Presidential Transition Committee will be on August the 29th at 3 p.m. This group will ensure a process that includes focused and open listening sessions, transparent communication, and ongoing action that facilitates meaningful and measurable change. Our group will then participate in a series of open forums for students, for faculty, staff, for community members, and for alumni and business leaders to help me develop a series of recommendations. And those recommendations will keep students first, measure success by the quality of the outcomes of what we're doing, spark innovation, expand partnerships, and nurture a culture of care. Just wanted to also conclude by letting you know about some upcoming events. Our faculty and staff assembly will be on August the 24th in the Baldwin Gym at beginning at 8:45. Our students move in to the Student Village on August the 26th. Our semester begins on August the 28th. There's a picnic with the president on August the 31st. And on September 11th, we will have our September 11th remembrance at the flagpole beginning at 10 a.m. And several of us are going to Washington, D.C. to participate in SUNY in D.C., a 2-day event of advocacy on September the 20th and the 21st. And that concludes my report. Thank you. I am.
Anyone has any questions? Agreed to.
Comment. I appreciated your thorough report in the packet. That's really helpful. So thank you.
Quite welcome.
Thank you. Student affairs, Dr. Ross. Dr. Scott.
Hi, just a couple of things just to share as we ramp up for this semester. We're pretty active, and everybody generally wants to know how we're doing in housing. Thus far, we have 205 students that are approved for room assignments. We have 26 students who have paid their deposit, but they aren't registered. And we have 20 students who are registered, but they need to make sure that they get cleared financially before they can get a room assignment. We've changed the procedure for the last year or so to make sure that the students are financially ready to take on the commitment to live in the residence hall, and it's worked out pretty well. So it's obviously a strategy that we need to keep going, but it's a good one for us. And Alejandro is going to be a resident advisor, right? Yay. This year, we're also looking for our interim Dean of Students. We have 2 candidates that the Dean of Students team will meet virtually probably next week so that we can make a decision and get somebody in the seat as soon as possible. We'll go out for the search this fall with the hopes of getting a permanent person in the seat by the spring. The next thing in my packet, I focused on the status of the Child Care Center. As we know, if we loop back around, just so that everybody knows, we are open for business. The task force has been very busy and done quite a bit of work. We have 28 student parents who are going to take advantage of the center. The center can take up to 44. This year, we only have 2 part-time seats vacancies that are available. If there are students who are on the wait list, they will work with Lori Brewer on trying to find some support with other child care centers outside, out in the community. We also are being given support thanks to Academic Affairs with Lisa Straley, who will be having release time to work with Pam as the previous coordinator. Lori, and I can't remember Lori's last name, I'm really sorry. Lori is retiring this month. And so we will be looking for an assistant director to fill her role. But she will transition Lisa Straley for the next month or so, and Lisa will be pitching in and helping us. As previously shared, we're registered with the NAEYC, accrediting body for early child care programs. We are registered, we're not enrolled, because once we enroll, that starts our clock ticking and we're not ready to do our self-assessment. Once we enroll, we have 1 year to get our self-assessment completed and in for review. So we're holding off on that until we're ready, but we are registered with the organization, which is very important. With leadership and support from the sponsored programs, and trust me, their sponsored programs is amazing. We have submitted the C Campus federal grant that is $500,000 annually for up to 4 years that will provide support, soft money support to the Child Care Center, which we could really use. We have also been awarded the state expansion grant of $50,000 to assist with offsetting salary costs and operational costs. We are putting in for the retention grant, which will provide us money to pay a bonus to our staff that are there, and we hope that will allow will give them an incentives to stay with us, and that's really important. We will be applying for the Ascend grant through the Aspen Institute. It's for parents, student parents. If we're awarded, we will use that money to help us also support our students that are in the Child Care Center, but we also have a lot of student parents who live on the periphery in Pennsylvania who cannot take advantage of the state support that you can get for New York child care. So we will help them pay for child care. Not necessarily we can't get them in the center at some of the area child care centers, because that's really important for them as well. Yesterday, we had a great conversation with the Assemblywoman Lepardo and Senator Leah Webb, who are very supportive, obviously, of the Broome Child Care Center, as well as all child care centers, but they are really looking for ways to support us. They will be writing support letters to the accreditation agency. We will provide them with talking points for our center that they can use in their lobbying efforts. In addition, they had a recommendation for us to make sure that we let the community know that our child care center is back in business. And I really think I'm forgetting something, but I can't remember what it is.
It was a very thorough meeting.
Okay.
Anthony, anything that Dr. says that?
I think you just misspoke. We are full at 44 people, not 28.
Yeah, we have 28 students.
Yeah, 28.
And
I don't
we
think
have,
that came across that way.
oh, I'm sorry. And we have, I think, what is it? 10. I don't have it with me.
It's 44 students.
No, it's 40.
27 are from the campus, 7 faculty, and 10 from members of the
community.
I have maybe a clarification, or the other members might want to know. Why have we not sought accreditation prior to this, and what is the advantage that you see? Because I know it's a process you're going through. I said in 2 of the meetings. Can you just explain the advantage? I think that's interesting to the body. The
advantage of getting the accreditation allows us more access, because there are grants out there that say you have to be accredited in order to qualify for the grants. And you know, like any accreditation, it sets a standard. They have standards in terms of curriculum all the way through to qualifications of the staff for the NAEYC, there's an expectation that you pass 80% of all the standards, and within each standard that you have to meet at least 60% of that standard. So for me, it's just a demonstration of quality, and it allows us to do some introspection. Why are we doing what we do? What we're doing? What is the curriculum that we have? What kind of professional development do we provide for our staff?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
That's very important.
Student assembly update.
Hello, everyone.
You're on.
No formal report. I came back this summer from Atlanta. I was at Emory University doing research for 10 weeks, and it was a great opportunity. It was a great opportunity, and I learned a lot. And so I hope to share a lot of things with the campus and with students and different opportunities that I feel like we should explore. I even talked to Dr. Ross and Dr. Kelly about research and things like that. So pretty excited about that. And yesterday I got to talk with Dr. Hawkins and make a connection with him and express how excited the assembly is to work with him. And I was very grateful for that, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. BCC Foundation, Kathy?
Hi, my report's in the packet. It's pretty much got all of the standard information in there. A couple of things financially. As of June 23rd, the foundation's total investment portfolio was $41.3 million, of which $40.1 million is endowed. The foundation's total net assets were $46.5 million, including the beneficial interest of perpetual trust, compared to fiscal year end June 30, 2020. The total assets of $43.1 million. The foundation had a preliminary pre-audit net surplus for fiscal year 23 of $3.73 million. Contributing to this was $750,000 in proceeds from an estate gift that we received this year, and also realized and unrealized gains of $4.3 million. Standard fundraising activity. We are getting ready to launch our fall campaigns with our different constituents, and wanted to just let you know a couple of the grants that we are working on. Lockheed Martin has again invited us to apply for program support for our STEM division, and also programs that support veterans. And we're going to submit 2 grant applications, $50,000 for the SUNY Broome Engineering Excellence Area and $25,000 for the SUNY Broome Office of Veterans and Military Affairs. As far as our alumni engagement, we had a very successful record attendance at the Rumble Ponies game on Friday, July 14th. They happened to be Dr. Hawkins' first event. And we had 114 guests that evening, which was a record number for the Rumble Ponies or those type of sporting events. 17 of those being first-time attendees. So we're seeing a big increase in the number of people joining us for each event that we offer. Just a couple other notes. The foundation is pleased to welcome 17 new presidential honor scholars to campus this coming semester. We'll recognize them in an event on campus October 18th, 2023. And Alejandro, being one of the previous year scholars, still continuing for the coming year. And we look forward to working with Alejandro and his fellow student assembly folks and our student philanthropy committee on one of the most special fundraising activities that happen in the foundation. And that is the Student Peer Scholarship, where the students raise all the money over the course of the year. And last year they were able to support 4 students with $500 scholarships. And it's really nice because our students do all of the actual work, and they get to present the scholarship check at graduation. So it's just a wonderful program developed by previous student trustee Aisha Morrison back in 2015. So one thing I just wanted to tell you, and you may hear about it, maybe you won't hear about it more tonight, but you may have seen it, is that we have a retired staff member who has made a gift to help support professional development on our campus, specifically related to student financial wellness. And so Dr. Kelly, as part of the Pathways program, has put together an offering, and we're going to have Dr. Donna Beagle, who will be here on Monday. She is a national expert in poverty and really does a phenomenal job in helping institutes of higher education work to help students living in poverty so that they can negotiate our system and have a successful outcome. So we're really excited about that. Hope you all have a chance to take a look at that.
Thank you. Facilities update. Dave.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You should have my report. I will preface the report in noting that, as you can see, the listing of projects and activities that facilities continues to be responsible for continues to grow, number one. But more importantly, all of the projects listed on both of these pages have been vetted by President Hawkins and he's been given his approval, and they are moving forward. So I'll hit the highlights real quick. The restroom project in both Old Science and Student Services is moving forward very well. Demolition is complete. Any asbestos has been either eliminated and or abated. And all four of the primes are working together to ensure that the project is completed on time. The completion date in the contract is November 1st, but we expect that to be completed well in advance of that date. The selection committee is actually they are in the process of making a choice for the architect to oversee the design for the conversion of the Old Science building to a student union. In fact, they met this afternoon, and more to come on that as that selection is processed. Bids for the photo lab, as you know, were approved at your June meeting. The 4 primes are listed, and construction contracts are currently in process or being processed by Broome County. So we hope to have that work beginning fairly quickly. We met with Holt Architects today. President Hawkins was part of that meeting with respect to the feasibility of converting the Wales building to a one-stop shop. It was a very productive meeting with a lot of discussion, real good discussion about different options and different alternatives. So more to follow on that. 2 of the academic moves that we needed to have completed by August 25th were the moves of criminal justice from the business building, from Old Science to the business building, as well as moving the painting classroom from the Old Science building to the library. And both of those have been completed. As Carol knows, and I met her up here on Monday, we finished an overhaul of the cafeteria, in particular the dining area, where it was completely repainted. We replaced all the lighting. So it's a pretty significant change from what was there a few weeks ago. And the last few projects that I've listed on the report are projects that are in design and or in the process of being contracts being finalized for design. And that's the STEM electric vehicle garage in the Old Science building, an electric/lighting upgrade in the little theater, a campus-wide signing upgrade, an evaluation of the academic and athletic space in the student center, and then an upgrade of the lecture hall in the AT building. So that is my report, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dean. Okay, budget and finance update. Michael Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we're 2 weeks prior to the end of the college's fiscal year, which ends August 31st. In your packet is the budget forecast, which has been pretty steady over the whole spring semester. College is still projecting needing about 3.8 million to balance this year's budget. So you're aware, so federal stimulus money have about 7.7 million on the institutional side. So 3.8 million projected to be used in the current year. 2.4 million is in the budget for next year that starts September 1. And then if those numbers were exactly perfect, then there'd be about $500,000 remaining for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. On the bottom of the budget forecast, we've included row 18 unrestricted fund balance, which is separate from the stimulus money. So that's at about almost 5.8 million, which is about 12% of total expense. So that's a very, very solid number. Only other major item to note is the BCC Housing Development Corporation is refinancing the village. The 10-year bank note is due to expire in the first quarter of 2024. So currently the Housing Corp plus the college is commencing a rating application by Moody's Investor Service. And so we have quite a bit of information to provide to Moody's in order to do that rating analysis. Expect that to occur probably in the next month. The Moody's may or may not visit the campus. So we expect all of that with a concluding financing sometime either in the very end of this calendar year or early in the first quarter of 2024. And finally, I would expect that the county executive would be presenting his annual operating budget in the middle of September. That also includes capital improvement plan. So we'll probably know prior to the board meeting what the county exec will be recommending for capital projects with county sponsor share being generally 50% of projects that are recommended within the county's 6-year plan. The rest of the items in your packet are informational. The only thing I noted at Finance Committee meeting was that one of the items is an investment earnings report, and it's fairly significant. As you recall, during COVID, interest rates were at 0 or minus, and they're at 4.5%, maybe 5% for 6 to 12 month investment terms. And the college on any given day may have cash balances in the 10 million. We have unrestricted fund balance at, as I mentioned, 5.8 million, have stimulus money that we can also invest 7.7. So, you have right there 13.5 million. So in any event, we expect interest earnings to be significant, especially for next year's budget. As you can see in the report, we're pushing 80 or 90,000 for the current fiscal year. So that, Madam Chair, concludes my report. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Any questions from people? Thank you, sir. Okay, 5.7, faculty eligible for professional recognition.
Standard informational.
I'm sorry,
It's a standard informational article.
5.8, media report. Jess?
Standard media report this month as well.
All right. Thank you. 6.0 is proposed executive session on approval of the board. I'd like to have a motion. Anthony, Jim, all in favor? Okay. Thank you. Kathy, requested. Are you on? Kathy?
Yes.
Hello?